We're going to talk about what you need to let go of. There may be some things that you're holding on to that are dragging you down, that are holding you back from being all that you can be and doing all that you could do. To start with, to give you this page out of the guide, and I want you to pause the video and take some time to read it. That will help you to get a little feel for what we're going to go over today. As per that page, you need to list out the things that you think that you need to let go of. Is it some kind of relationship that's taking too much of your time? Is there some kind of a toxic person in your life that's holding you back? I want you to think about, how do you benefit by holding on to them? If you're benefiting from that fear or that toxic friend or that idea of money being an issue, and you're holding on to it because you really don't want to go after this goal and those are your excuses, just acknowledge it. Acknowledge that this is what you're holding on to those things for, because this goal isn't strong enough. So we're going to read these questions out, and they're just to get you thinking, like most of this course is to get you thinking about where you're at and what you really do want. Do I really want to complete my main goal? How bad do I want to complete it? On a score of 1 to 10, how much is that one goal important to you, or the top 3 things on your list? What could go wrong and stop me from doing my main goal? Acknowledge that. What could go wrong? Could it have something to do with your health? Are you having health issues, and to go after your main goal, your health could get in the way? Acknowledge what could be standing in your way. Be prepared that if something gets in your way this week, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just give up your whole goal if for some reason this week you couldn't get to the gym, or for this week you couldn't work on your business? Does that mean you're going to give up your whole goal? Yes or no? If it's no, then make a plan and do some self-talk about what you're going to do to make sure that you keep your motivation going, and that if something happens in 1 week, that's not going to stop you. As long as you're prepared for it, you'll find that you'll be able to pick it right back up after the week. I want you to think about what you do have to give up to reach your goal. It's not always something you have to do. Sometimes it's something you don't have to do. In fact, something you shouldn't do. So if one of your plans is to get a good night's sleep every night, but you love that morning and afternoon coffee and a couple in the middle of the day, and in fact, by the time you do try and go to sleep, you've already had 6 cups of coffee, well, that's something that you're going to have to acknowledge that you need to cut back on, or not have after, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you have to give up? Acknowledging it and being okay with it. If you're not honest with yourself about the things that you have to give up and how much you're willing to give up, maybe it's not every bit of it, maybe it's a slow down and a little bit at a time, but you have to acknowledge this, as in all things. If you're not honest in acknowledging these things, then how can you ever deal with them? Say you want to go after it and you want to work at it. What is so important about this goal? Why does it mean so much to you? I want you to write it out. Why? Write this out in your notebook or in your journal. Why do you want this goal? That will make you actually stick to it. You know, sometimes it's just, you can feel it in your gut. The fact that you're doing this and that you're on the 4th week is a huge goal that you're already accomplishing. 42 days is not a small amount of time in your life, but it's also not a huge amount of time, but it's a commitment. Well, that was day 26, and it's talking about basically what's getting in our way and how we need to acknowledge what gets in our way of doing the things we want. And because we acknowledge it, then we are then able to do something about it. See you tomorrow as we continue on this thing about goals and how to get them.